This is a special report from Channel 7 Action News.
Good afternoon once again. I'm Guy Gordon in the Action Newsroom. We want to update you on the condition of former Mayor Coleman Young, who was rushed to Detroit Receiving Hospital this afternoon on a Code 1, the highest priority call. Dennis Archambault, the spokesman for Detroit Receiving Hospital, is on the line with us now. Dennis, what can you tell us about the... And apparently we have been disconnected. Let's see if we can reconnect with Dennis Archambault. What we do know, and we can pass this along to you, is from an EMS source, is that the former mayor was in serious condition. Now, that's his terminology. That was his perspective on the situation. That is not any kind of an official term that you would get from a hospital as towards the condition of a patient. But he was found unconscious in the 300th tower of the Riverfront apartment building. A police officer was dispatched, and immediately so was EMS. And as I said, he was rushed on a Code 1 to Detroit Receiving Hospital. There are several unconfirmed reports at this time about his condition, but what we have heard repeatedly from the hospital is respiratory failure, respiratory collapse, an acute respiratory problem. Those are the three terms that we have heard used over and over. Of course, the former mayor has had respiratory problems now for almost as long as he was mayor, 20 years. He was a heavy smoker. He had emphysema. He has been in and out of the hospital in at least physically fragile condition several times over the past 2 years with respiratory distress, bronchitis, all of it related to the condition of his lungs. It slowed him down. It was the main reason why he did not run again in 1993. So he is, at this time we are told, on a respirator at Detroit Receiving Hospital. No official word on his condition at this time. We had hoped to get that from Dennis Archambault, and we apparently have not been able to reconnect with Detroit Receiving Hospital. But again, respiratory failure. He is on a respirator. Acute respiratory distress, we are told. This, though, is the most serious health event we have heard concerning the former mayor over the many years that he has been having these problems. He was rushed in a serious, unconscious state when he was taken to Detroit Receiving Hospital. So that is the most serious condition we have seen. And we will continue to monitor it, and we will have full details as they become available. I'm Guy Gordon reporting from the Action Newsroom.
This has been a special report from Channel 7 Action News. We now return to our regularly scheduled program. This is a special report from Channel 7 Action News.
Good afternoon once again. Guy Gordon in the Action Newsroom. I want to go live to Joe Ducey, who is at Detroit Receiving Hospital, who has been monitoring the situation there with the Coleman Young, former mayor, rushed to the hospital just about an hour ago. Joe, what can you tell us about his condition and what prompted his being taken there?
Well, Guy, we are at Detroit Receiving Hospital. We don't have all the answers, as you can understand, that's just happened at this time, but we are told that former Detroit Mayor Coleman Young is here. He was brought here just a short time ago, and he was brought here unconscious. Paramedics say he was in very serious condition when they found him in his apartment in Detroit, and that he was suffering from respiratory distress, and that he is currently on a respirator here at Detroit Receiving Hospital. Now, we do know that the former mayor, 20 years in Detroit, had some complications from emphysema. He was hospitalized recently for a number of other reasons. The hospital isn't saying a lot at this time, but they are holding a news conference. The Channel 7's Denise Dodor is there getting that information. We'll have more as this develops. Again, Coleman Young is here. Apparently, he is on a respirator here, suffering from respiratory problems. And again, we'll have more at 5 and 6 and as the story develops. Back to you, Guy.
Now, Joe, we should make it very clear here that the former mayor has been in and out of the hospital for many times over the past few years, but that this is certainly the most serious condition that he has ever been seen.
I can't hear you, Guy. I'm breaking up here. Serious condition, yes.
This is the most serious event we have seen of this type with the mayor. This is something that they consider could potentially be life-threatening.
Yes, at this time. And apparently he's still unconscious on a respirator. So, yes, I think this is the most serious that we've seen, yes.
All right. Joe Ducey, live at Detroit Receiving Hospital, who will continue to stay on top of it there for us. Denise Dodor is in the news conference where Dennis Archambault and others will be fielding questions as to the condition of the former mayor. As we said, he has suffered from emphysema for many years. That is a condition that's prompted by many years of smoking, of course, where the lungs lose their elasticity. They become inefficient. They can't handle as much air. You suffer from shortness of breath, and ultimately, there is no cure for it. Ultimately, you can have complete respiratory failure, and that is apparently, at least what we are being told at this point, happened to former Mayor Coleman Young this afternoon. As we get more details from that news conference, we will pass them along to you. I'm Guy Gordon, Channel 7 Action News, reporting.
This has been a special report from Channel 7 Action News. We now return to our regularly scheduled program. This is a special report from Channel 7 Action News.
Good afternoon, Guy Gordon in the Action News. And we want to briefly interrupt Oprah to take you to the news conference at Detroit Receiving Hospital, where Dr. Claude Young, former Mayor Young's personal physician and cousin, is updating the media on Mr. Young's condition. He was brought in a semi-comatose state. Let's join him for the details now.
The tests so far have come back normal. The x-rays of the chest are questionable possible pneumonia. And, of course, there are other concerns. At this early date, you just can't really tell what you may find as you watch the patient progress. And that's about it. He's in ICU. And, of course, his vital signs are stable.
Did he regain consciousness?
He's responsive, but it's not a... I don't know how he can be too conscious with all the tubes and everything. He's intubated at the time. So I would say he's still in a semi-comatose state.
When you say responsive, I mean, with his eyes open, does he at all,
Yeah, you can. He will respond to that. When you say squeeze my hand, open his eyes. But he is not in an alert state at this time.
Dr. Young, can you tell us what the long-term implications are for the former mayor at this time?
Well, you can't tell anything at this time because we're all in the acute phase, and you're also in discovery. But his condition is serious.
Can you put this episode into context of the previous instances where he's been taken to the hospital?
No, yes, I can. The cardiac arrhythmias do not exist. That could have precipitated, however, the respiratory difficulties, but he is in a sinus rhythm at this time. That means a normal heartbeat, etc.
what type of treatment will he receive?
Well, you receive support treatment at the time. You have to treat what you find, and you have to do the things to stabilize the pressure, etc.
Now, they're calling him stable condition now, but it sounds to me like is
Well,
he
stable
serious or
condition means,
critical?
serious is the word serious. Can't change that. He's serious.
But not critical.
Well, no, he's not critical at the moment, and he's responding. His dynamics, his blood pressure, the flow, all within normal limits. There's been no change there. But I can't mislead you to say I know all of the answers as to where he's going at this time.
Dr. Young, his personal condition, how would you characterize this among all of the recent hospitalizations?
Not only that, of all of the things I've treated since 1961, this is the most serious, incident that we've had.
John, there's a lot of things that have been used for emphysema. There's medication, there's a laser surgery. Is he beyond that point where he can try new things?
Laser surgery is for the bullseye. He doesn't have the bullseye. His bronchioles, etc., of the very minute kind, and he's not a candidate for that type of laser surgery.
Is there anything new that can be tried on him?
Well, as I said, we're going to stabilize him now, and you're going to try everything you know, which is probably old, which is the best move to take. This is the best hospital for acute care of that type, and he's getting that type of treatment.
Is he oxygen and all?
Oh, yes.
Is he on a respirator now?
He's intubated. He's really breathing on his own, but we haven't intubated because we're trying to get the proper gas exchange.
When you say intubated,
That's right into his tracheal tube.
but he's not on the respirator. You got the
Well, we have a means of how you monitor that, so that is, once you intubate someone, it runs by a monitor.
Can you speculate as to whether it was some activity that he was involved in, or possibly changes in weather, what might have brought on?
No. He could have a pneumonia, as I said. But the fact is that an emphysematous patient, long-standing, and repeated bouts of changes, pneumonia, bronchitis, etc., you can't just pinpoint what might have precipitated this.
What about his day? What was his day like?
Okay, Dr. Claude Young giving an update to reporters on the condition of Mayor Coleman Young. He says he is very serious but stable. That means his condition is not worsening, but it's not particularly getting better either, that he's in a semi-comatose state. He is on oxygen. He has a normal heartbeat. That's a good sign. There were reports that he had a cardiac arrest, and he called this the most serious health episode that he has seen since he began treating Coleman Young many years ago. We will continue asking questions at the news conference. We'll have full details tonight on Action News at 5, 6, and on the update at 11. Until then, we'll return you to Oprah and see you at 5 o'clock.
This has been a special report from Channel 7 Action News. We now return to our regularly scheduled program.